Jackie.
And I'm Jacqueline.
Well, you guys, welcome to our 7th podcast.
Yeah, our 7th episode.
Yeah. So today, you guys, we're going to talk about my anxiety and my panic attacks.
Yes.
So I don't know if any of you out there suffer. I do believe some of our sweet flickers did comment when we've talked about this before and said they also suffer from anxiety and or panic attacks.
Yes.
So if you guys have been with our channel a long time, you know that Jacqueline's brother has had a lot of health issues since he was about 14. He's 27 now. But for anybody who's new to this podcast,
or just our channel in general.
Yeah, exactly. So when Jake was 14, he was diagnosed with inflammatory bowel disease. So basically, that's where your large colon, you guys, gets inflamed. So basically, there's two types of inflammatory bowel disease, Crohn's or ulcerative colitis. They're pretty much similar, like with symptoms, but the difference is that ulcerative colitis, the inflammation usually stays just right in the colon, whereas with Crohn's, it could affect like different parts, like your stomach, your esophagus. So, like I said, Jake was diagnosed with ulcerative colitis. So Jake was so sick. Oh my gosh, like so many doctor appointments and hospital visits and just so many things going on with him, poor thing. So around that same time, he started having joint pain, like in his hips and back. It turns out that he also was diagnosed with ankylosing spondylitis, which is a form of arthritis. So, oh my gosh, you guys, I was so stressed out. And around this time, one day, I was just like sitting in the house and I felt this weird feeling come over me. And it was like a feeling of like, and it was so bizarre, you guys, just out of the blue, like this feeling of dread and doom. And I felt like I wanted to like jump out of my like skin. It was so bizarre. So right away I got up and I went outside like for a breath of fresh air. And I didn't know what the heck was happening to me. It was such a scary like situation to be in. So I was telling one of my friends and I remember her saying, "Oh, Jackie, it sounds like you're having a panic attack because my friend has them." And I was like,
right. And we didn't know anything about that at the time.
Right.
This was like years ago.
Right.
Yeah.
And the funny thing, you guys, is before I even had Jake, when I was working, I worked with a girl and one day she left early and I said, "Oh, why are you leaving early?" And she said, "I'm having an anxiety attack."
So that was like in the 90s.
Yes. And I remember you guys going,
yeah,
what the heck is an anxiety attack? Like I knew nothing at all about them. But later I thought of her and going, oh, no wonder she left work. Right.
Yeah.
So you guys, so I started looking it up and I said, oh my gosh, that's exactly what I think I'm having. Mm-hmm. And so it's different for everybody, you guys. You know, certain things trigger it. But for me, I think
it's like the subconscious worries.
Right.
You know what I mean? Like even if you're not really thinking about your worries at that moment, like obviously they're still in your mind, like in your brain.
Right.
So like you just always have anxiety all the time because of years of stress and worry.
Right. Exactly.
Yeah. So like you don't even have to be thinking about it at that moment that you get a panic attack. Right. It'll just happen.
Exactly. Jacqueline's spot on, you guys. So one day, you guys, one moment in time, Jake was 19 years old. He was put in the hospital because he was having a terrible flare of his colon. So they did a colonoscopy when Jake was in the hospital, and his whole colon, you guys, was so inflamed to the point that it was just like blood red and it was like so pussy and stuff. It was just horrible. So basically, you guys, because Jake's colon was so inflamed, they didn't want him eating any food, you know, going into like down his throat into his stomach.
Right. It would irritate it even more.
Right. So they put him on a PICC line, which basically is a line going into your body, and there's a bag of food, nutrients.
It's liquid though.
Yes, all liquid, but a lot of like calories to keep you, you know, healthy while you're on this liquid diet.
Yeah.
So you guys, we thought Jake would be in the hospital for maybe a week. He was in the hospital for 22 days. And it was at Miller's Children's Hospital in Long Beach, which was the best hospital. It was such a good experience in the sense that the whole staff, the nurses and everything were so great. And, because he was in a children's hospital, Jerry and I were able to stay overnight every night with Jake. And so we took turns. So like I would stay there one day and like Jerry would be home with Jacqueline. And we even took Jacqueline out of school because we were traveling to the hospital so much. And so Jacqueline was out of junior high at that point, like doing all her work at home. Mm. And then Jerry would come to the hospital and relieve me. And then I would go back home with Jacqueline. So we did this for like 22 days. And one day we got home, Jacqueline and I, it was probably like 2 a.m. And you could tell them that part about my...
Oh, I'm sure we told them already in that one video.
But since this
is in case you missed
a podcast about anxiety, we'll tell you guys.
Yeah. So we got home. We had a shower, of course, because, being at the hospital, we felt dirty and, got to get clean. So we showered and Mom's, she's out of the shower already. She dried off and everything. She's in her towel and she's like, she calls for me. So I come in the room and she's in her towel. And she's like, oh, Jacqueline, she's like, I got to call Dad. Like, I'm having a panic attack. I'm so nervous and stressed right now. Room. Yeah. And then she's like, I need to go to the emergency room. And I said, Mom, don't worry. I said, it's so late/early in the morning. Dad's trying to sleep. And when you're at the hospital, they come in your room like constantly to, check your bag, like your fluids and everything. So you're constantly being woken up. So I'm like, don't call Dad. Like, it's okay. We got this. Like, we're going to get through this. I was like giving a little pep talk.
Right.
To Mom here. And I think I was like, what? Like,
oh gosh, well, you were only in junior high
or something, so or probably 13.
Not even, 12, 13.
Yeah. And it went away.
It did, you guys. It was terrible, but again,
but it took a while.
That feeling overcame me. And I'm sure if you guys have panic attacks, maybe you've had one where I tell you it's that weirdest feeling of dread and doom. Yeah. And you just feel like I have to go to the emergency room right now. And I was like, oh, Jacqueline, no, I got to drive myself. You're going to have to come with me. And I was so nervous, you guys. You should have seen. And Jacqueline's so sweet. So young at that age to have so much, like sympathy towards me. And she, hugged me and she's all, Mom, it's going to be okay. And
I was hugging you in your towel.
Yeah.
You're all damp.
Yes. I was all damp. And you guys, she made me feel so much better. And it did pass.
It did.
And so sometimes you guys, a panic attack could pass quickly. Sometimes it could take long to pass. Yeah. And one night, and we talked about this in one of our recent videos. One night, you guys, I'm in bed. Couldn't fall asleep. And my heart was racing. And then I started getting like the chills. But you guys, uncontrollable, where like my body was like shaking. And instead of going and waking Jacqueline up, because, poor Jake needs his sleep,
Well, you don't want to wake Jake.
His health problems. And Jerry works, so I didn't want to wake him up. I should have woke Jacqueline up, you guys. But what do? I come downstairs by myself. I go and get a magazine. And literally, I'm sitting there and I'm like this. Like, I couldn't even look at the magazine because I was shaking so much.
You should have just woke me up.
I know.
And I told her that the next day. I said, don't you dare not wake me up again because you are worried about my sleep. Like, you better wake me up. Right. Because that's important.
Well, Jerry did hear me, you guys, getting up a couple times. And so he's all, what's the matter? And I told him. So, so poor thing, he's trying to stay up.
I know, you didn't want to wake him up either.
But he's half asleep.
I know.
So it did pass, you guys. But that one was a very scary one because if you know about anxiety and panic attacks, and you could have chills, sweats, have diarrhea, you're feeling that weird feeling. So it's so many emotions, you guys, that you're going through.
I have a couple more too, because since you've gotten them, I actually had one or two.
I can't even remember that night what happened to you.
I couldn't breathe, remember?
Yes.
Because of my nose.
That's what brought it on.
Yes.
Right.
So if you guys didn't know, I have I don't even know. Is it allergies? I've been to the doctor. I really don't have many allergies. They think it's my nodules in my nose that are just always big. They're like always inflamed, basically.
Right. Almost like a slight deviated septum, but
that
not,
too. No,
but,
that's a different. That has to do with like the bridge of my nose, but that as well.
Right.
So I've been to the doctor for that too. He said, "Oh, you can have surgery to like shrink those nodules in there.
Right.
Like, so they're not always big and you'll be able to breathe better." And I was like, well, I don't know if I want to do that yet.
Yeah.
But it's something to think about for sure. So one night they were so like inflamed and big that I couldn't breathe like out of my nose good. So then when I can't breathe out of my nose good, I feel like, I can't breathe.
Panicky.
Yeah, well, I feel panicky because I'm like not inhaling oxygen well.
Right.
So I got so nervous. I got a panic attack.
Yeah.
I got a panic attack. My mouth got all dry. I couldn't like swallow my saliva. I had chills.
Right.
I was like shaking like this. I had to go to the bathroom a lot of times. But in my mind, like once it passed, I try to calm myself down knowing like I can still breathe, right? If I couldn't breathe, I wouldn't be
because you could breathe through
conscious.
your mouth,
you know what I mean? Right.
Taking the deep breaths through your mouth.
Right. Exactly. So I was that, and actually that's one of the things that really does help me. I like to take deep breaths that are like timed. You know what I mean?
Right.
Like, so like you count like your inhales and exhales, and that really does help me. So
that's a big thing.
That's a tip for you if you ever
anxiety,
get one.
Our breathing techniques.
Breathing techniques really help. Yeah.
But I brought Jacqueline downstairs that night, and I said, we're going to heat up some water on the stove. You're going to put your head over it. You're going to inhale that moist, hot water air. And so she said that she did feel that relieved her nose a little bit.
Right. And I have taken like Claritin in the past, just in case you guys are wondering, and like Flonase. I feel like it really doesn't get the job done. Like it helps.
Right.
Well, actually the Claritin really didn't at all. The Flonase was a little bit better. Mm-hmm. I don't use it all the time though. It's just like when the allergy season comes, I'll use it sometimes, but
right.
Yeah. So it doesn't help too much.
So see you guys, so somebody like Jacqueline, a panic attack could be brought on by something you're going through at that moment.
Just at that moment, yeah.
Right. Mm-hmm. And with me, mine is stress, you guys.
And my heart was racing a lot.
Yes.
Like super fast.
That's another thing, you guys. And I mentioned that earlier in the podcast. That yes, your heart will feel like it's racing. You may feel like are you having a heart attack?
Right.
But with mine, you guys, it's a continuous stress.
Right.
And I think,
and that's why you get them so often.
Is it an empath? Is that what it is when you kind of take on the world's problems, you guys? You kind of take on like all this stuff on you, right? Where you worry so much about things. And so I think mine started off with Jake. And you know what's weird, you guys, is if you've been with our channel a long time, you know that I have fibromyalgia, which is an all over body pain from head to toe, you guys. And they say that fibro is brought on sometimes by a traumatic, stressful event in your life. And no lie, you guys, my fibro came on about the same time that Jake got sick and I started getting these panic attacks. So I do definitely think like it's related. Mine will just come on.
Your panic attacks.
Right. Yeah. And one day I was out with my good friend, Eva.
Eva.
Yes. I call her Eva. She's such a good friend, you guys. We were out to lunch one day years ago, and we're sitting in the food place having a good time. We're talking, we're eating, and all of a sudden, panic attack. And I looked at her and said, Eva, we got to go. I'm having a panic attack. You guys, she's so sweet. So the food place was in like a little like outdoor like shopping area. So we're walking up and down the sidewalk, and she's talking to me, and she has her hand on my back, and she's like rubbing my upper back like this. And I did feel better after that, you guys, but it just hits you. See,
that's
you
a good friend.
That's such a good friend.
They've been friends a long time.
Yes. And Eva, if you're watching this, you are such a good friend to this day. And, it's so weird, you guys, how it could happen. And the other night, Jacqueline, was awake. Right. You were in the shower. Dad was asleep. Jake was in his room, and I'm sitting here, you guys, watching TV, and all of a sudden, boom, panic attack.
Yep.
So I got on the computer, and I'm all ways to relieve a sudden panic attack.
Yeah.
And you guys, this video comes up of this lady's voice, and she's telling you how to breathe, and this soothing music's playing. And the nice thing about this video, she's all, look around where you are. You're in no danger. You're safe. You're fine. You're just having a panic attack.
Right.
Look around. Take a look. You're not in immediate danger. And you guys, but see, you forget about that when you're having a panic attack.
Right. Well, you're so overcome with like your emotions.
Right.
You can't think in a logical sense.
No.
If that makes sense.
You can't. Yeah. You cannot think. Yeah, exactly, yeah. Jacqueline. Jacqueline's exactly right. You cannot think in a logical way because your mind is so filled and your body's going through this terrible surge of like adrenaline and all this stuff. So it was so nice, you guys. So I watched that. And then I watched another one, which was tapping. Have you guys seen that?
Oh,
where
the tapping.
You do the tapping. And you focus and you say things, like you say a mantra. I am fine. I'm going to be okay. Then you go down
on your chest too.
Right. Yeah. So, believe it or not, it really helped. Jacqueline came down and I told her, I said, oh my gosh, Jacqueline, I'm having a panic attack.
I brought you the facial roller.
You did.
Too. The jade facial roller.
She brought me the facial roller, today. Which I keep in the refrigerator, you guys.
Oh yeah, it gets real cold. Feels really good.
You guys, I had a pink one that was supposed to be a stone. It's probably just a glass.
I forgot even what stone it's supposed to be.
I forgot which one that was supposed to be.
I don't know.
But you guys, it's so nice. You basically roll it on
it's like to drain your lymph system
nodes. But it's also very soothing, you guys, if you're having a panic attack. It feels so good on your face.
Feels really good.
And I do think that for me, something cold on your face feels so good.
It does, yeah.
But you guys, stress is not good for your body physically.
It's not. It's very damaging to your body, which again goes back to her fibromyalgia. So she has so much stress all the time. It may not seem like it from our videos. She's very happy. I mean, she is. She is happy.
Yes.
So as you can see, stress in your mind and your brain negatively impacts the stress on your body physically.
For sure.
That's why she's always achy and in pain.
Right, you basically. Guys. And stress releases cortisol, you guys. And cortisol wreaks havoc on your body. It really does. It could do so much stuff to your body. So I just recently, you guys, have been thinking, I said I probably should call or set up an appointment for psychologist / psychiatrist to talk about my stress, because even though everybody here helps me so much, you guys, I think those doctors are, of course.
Oh yeah.
That's what they do.
That's what they specialize in, of course.
Right. And maybe they have, different, cognitive, behavioral, things I could learn, to help me deal with it. Because I think, too, you guys, I worry about things so much, whether, it's, there's just so many things, you guys, COVID or vaccines or Jake's health or Matza being sick. That's our little dog, you guys, who's real unhealthy also.
Yeah.
So it's just,
she probably has inflammatory bowel disease.
She probably does.
No joke.
So I think, you guys, that for me, it's, I can't change those things, right?
Right.
But I know I can't, but it weighs on me. It's like the weight of the world on me, you guys. And I do try to stay happy. I've never felt depressed, if that makes sense. You know what I mean? Mm-hmm. Mine is more, it's just stress and anxiety. I think some people, they do have the depression that goes along with their anxiety and panic attacks, of course, right? Because it all goes together, you guys. Mm-hmm. But I've never felt sad or depressed. I've just always felt that terrible anxiety, you guys. Mm-hmm. And like Jacqueline and I were talking about earlier, you feel when you have anxiety and you go through a panic attack, it's like a fight or flight response. And that's exactly what you feel like. You feel like oh my God, I gotta get out of here. I gotta get out of here. Like it just like I said, overcomes you.
Right.
So I'm sure any of you out there who are dealing with that, you know exactly what I'm talking about.
And personally, in my experience, I think everybody, I can't remember if I've said this before. I probably have. I think everybody has anxiety. But everyone has different forms of anxiety.
Degrees,
some people, different degrees.
Right.
Some people can handle it like with ease, you know? They can deal with it. They know how to manage it well. Or maybe they just don't get it as bad as others, right?
Right.
It'll be like, oh man, I'm worried about that. But, you know, it's okay. Like, they move on.
Right.
Right? Not the case for you.
No, exactly. And like I said, you guys, I think that just comes down to my own personality. I really, and for years, you guys, like if something's going on, you know, in like extended family and I worry about it, I like, oh my gosh.
It's almost like it's your own worry. Right, you know what I mean?
Right. Like, what can I do to fix that problem?
Even if it's not like your problem to solve, I guess.
Exactly.
You just worry so much about other people and their well-being that you feel like
I have to fix it.
Right.
Right.
Yes.
Exactly.
Even if you can't.
Exactly. And I know I can't, right? Like you can't worry about other people to the point of like trying to fix their problem or what you see because
what's it going to do?
What's it going to do?
Right. In some instances.
You could try.
Yeah.
Of course. But then you have to sit back and go, oh man, why am I making myself so nervous over that?
Right. See, you have to think of it like in a logical sense.
Right.
Even if it's hard to.
Right.
Right. So like in the instance where I was having a hard time breathing like through my nose, right? Later, I was like, okay, I can breathe. This will pass, this feeling. You know, I know this isn't going to continue to be this way.
Right.
Type of thing. So I was trying to think of it in a logical sense.
Right.
Instead of just being like, oh my gosh.
Right.
No.
And
like
I'm
all panicky.
Rubbing your back that night. Yeah. And I was the one talking Jacqueline down saying, Jacqueline, look, yes, your heart's racing, but it's gonna go down. Just calm down. And we were, like talking about stuff. And I think I told you that one night, you guys, I was having a panic attack and Jacqueline, middle of the night, gets her phone and we're doing a funny quiz on her phone.
Oh yeah. That time you did wake me up because that was after the other time.
Right.
Actually. So she did wake me up this time, guys. Don't worry. So many times we forget.
Right.
But yeah. And I was like, come on. We're going to do a 1970s quiz because I knew Mom would get all the answers right.
Right.
And she did, in fact. I didn't even have to read the whole question sometimes. She just knew what the answer was going to be. And I knew that would be fun for her and it would get her mind off of
and it did, you guys.
Her worries at that moment.
And I think, and that's like a big thing. They tell you that if you're suffering through a panic attack, or anxiety attack, like do something right at that moment that's going to take your mind off of it. You know, turn on the TV and don't watch the news or watch something serious or sad. You know, watch something funny.
Yeah,
and
do a craft.
Get your
Play
mind
some
off
music
of it.
or something.
Exactly. Do some at-home exercise. You know?
Actually, exercise is a good way to release that cortisol too, because it builds up.
Yeah, Jacqueline and I have been doing walking at home exercises, you guys, and it's so much fun. And we walk at home in our pajamas and we crack up because
so funny. We do funny. We make the moves funny.
Yeah. And the other day, Jacqueline's in her striped socks, her short pajama bottoms,
like my
big old
capri
t-shirt.
pants.
We both have our hair pulled back. We look like Rex. I had on a t-shirt, but I was making soup and I was stirring the soup and it plopped
and all
out.
splattered
and
on
my
her.
top was all full of spots.
Yep.
And I had my pajama bottoms on and we looked hilarious. And I said, Jacqueline, you should post a picture of us right now. We look so hilarious. So between looking at each other and exercising, we laughed
cracking up
so much, you guys.
So basically, looking like that, Chris Evans, call me.
But I wish I had, you guys, ways to, like I could say, you guys, I deal with it so well. And but all I could say is try to get your mind off of it. Wait, if you live with somebody seriously, you guys, go wake them up if you have to. Help them, let them help you through it.
Yeah.
Go
let
turn
them
on the
understand
TV.
too what that's like. Maybe they don't know, maybe they've never seen that before. And it was funny. We were watching Charmed the other night, which is the new version of Charmed. There used to be an old version. Now there's a new version. Both are very good. And one of the characters on the show, her name's Maggie. Yeah. Was going through a panic attack. Mm-hmm. And now it's actually like a reoccurring thing. Like she has anxiety, which I thought that was like nice.
That is
nice. You don't see that in shows usually. And it would actually show her what?
But except her hand lights up and she has magic.
Except her hand lights up and then she can make herself calm just by touching her body. She's like, I am calm, and then it's gone. But because she's magical. So it was nice though to see like they actually showed her going through a panic attack, which I was like, wow, I've never seen that before.
Yeah, I like that too.
So
I like that too.
That made me think of that.
And guess what they told her in the one episode we just recently watched? Her sister told her, she said, there's nothing wrong with asking for help. There's nothing wrong with seeking help for what you're going through.
Yep.
And at the end of that episode, she actually calls a counselor at school and says, I'd like to make an appointment.
Yes.
Which was nice. See?
So, and hopefully us talking about it today breaks that stigma of not talking about your mental health.
Exactly, you guys. And I'm not embarrassed at all to say that I suffer anxiety and panic attacks. And you guys, we've had our channel for 5 years, Jacqueline, or
6 years going on 6 or something.
And anybody who's been with our channel a long time, I've been very open about my anxiety and my panic attacks. Mm-hmm. And I don't think it's anything to be ashamed of. I'm almost 60 years old, you guys. I just had my 59th birthday, you guys, last month. And trust me, I'm not embarrassed. I'm not very embarrassed about anything, you guys. And I'm certainly not embarrassed to say that that's what I suffer from. But do what I do, you guys. Try to get your mind off of it. Try to, the other day, how I pulled up all of a sudden, I just thought of Googling, how to, help for bad panic attack, instant help. And those couple videos came up and I thought, and that lady's voice was right.
Yeah.
Sit down, look where you are. You're really not in immediate danger. You really do not have to go to the emergency room. You're just having a panic attack and it's going to pass. And like she said, you're safe. You're fine. Hey, maybe I should do a video with my voice telling people that.
You could use the microphone.
See, it's Mom Flicker here, you guys. Mom's here to tell you that you're fine. Sit down, take a deep breath, get some cold water, get a cold rag, put it on the back of your neck.
Oh, that feels good.
Anything like that, you guys, to help you get through it.
Exactly.
So I think I am going to look into you guys, and I will tell you if I do.
Yeah, we'll update you guys.
Call somebody, you guys.
Yes.
Yeah, to try to overcome this worry I have, you guys.
Go ahead.
I just have to learn, you guys, not to worry about so much stuff that I can't change.
Right.
That's what it is.
Sounds easier said than done, though.
Especially when you're a mother.
Yes.
Yeah.
And see, so of course I get anxiety too, but not to that extent.
Right.
I mean, in that case, that one time I did get a panic attack.
Right.
But it's not often. I mean, it happened once or twice.
Because everybody has
everyone
worries.
Does it their own way.
And I think too, you guys, if you are in a family situation and you suffer from that, you have to sit your family down and explain to them what you're going through, because at first it was so hard for Jerry and, Jacqueline and Jake, because, you were
like,
at that
time, why are you getting this way?
Right.
Kind of thing.
Right. And Jerry said, but I don't understand. You weren't doing anything. How did you get a panic attack? We were just watching TV, or, you were just out to lunch. So so people don't understand that it just comes out of nowhere. You don't have to have something bring it on. Yeah. And in fact, when Jake had his first panic attack, you guys, I had already had mine. And so I was like, oh my gosh.
So now you knew what to do.
Right. I'm all, Jerry, I think he's having a panic attack. And Jake did not go right away to look for help, you guys.
No, honestly, he probably waited 5-6 years.
Yes, I mean
before
his weren't
anything. Yeah,
tragically bad, but I'm so glad he did talk to somebody, you guys. And the doctor's so nice, and he calls Jake often, and and he understands that Jake has a lot of health issues, physically that like took him to that point. So anyway, you guys, that's why Jacqueline and I try to keep my baby. Yes, she helps me so much, you guys. I love this little girl. I love this angel. And you guys, and so if you've been with our YouTube channel a long time, you know that we're just silly. We're nerdy. We just have fun with our channel. We don't talk about serious matters. We don't talk about, how YouTube channels get a lot of views because they talk about
just like, controversial things
or stuff.
Inappropriate things.
Exactly.
Right, so we try to post fun things.
We don't do that. Yeah.
Positive videos because people have enough stress in their lives.
Right.
As you now know. And we feel we don't need to add to people's stress.
Exactly, you guys. And we want to be a channel that you could let your kids watch our channel and you don't have to worry about something inappropriate, especially if you're new to our channel, you guys, or you're just listening to this podcast for the very first time. Through the pandemic, we've done videos. And I think it's because we wanted to keep like our channel going, like to help people get through the pandemic, right?
Right. Not saying it is.
Exactly.
But that's the hope.
Exactly. We're not saying that our videos were a ray of sunshine for everybody during the pandemic, you guys. It's just that we really tried to keep up with our content in this last year, just to send out some good, fun videos.
Vibes.
Exactly.
As the kids say.
To everybody,
I'm old
you guys.
now.
Yeah.
You're not a kid now.
She just turned 21, you guys. So just to send out good feeling videos, you guys, for people to watch. So yeah, that just explains a little about our mentality about what we try to put out content wise. Yeah. And how we are in our videos is really a reflection of that's how we are in our home life, you guys. We're a very close family. Jerry and I are close to both Jacqueline and Jake. In fact, we did a podcast
how we're close.
How, because like people write us a lot and say, how are you and Jacqueline? How do you have such a good mom-daughter relationship? So we talk about it in that podcast. You guys,
I'll link it down below.
Yeah, don't forget, honey.
I will. I'll try not to.
But we do, as a family, you guys, we try to just stay happy.
Yes.
Right? You know what I mean? Of course, we worry about things and we talk about serious issues, but our family pod here in our home, we just try to stay very positive, and we have a lot of bright colors in the house, and just stuff like that. So
we try to do things that are fun.
Yeah, we talk about stuff with each other. Yes. We really talk about everything as a family, so stuff like that. So so we just thought, well, why not talk about this today, and hopefully
it helps someone else out there.
I hope we help someone else out there that's maybe going through something.
Yeah, or maybe you just didn't know that about us, and now you know because you watched this video.
That's right. Now you know that mom is a worrywart.
Yes.
That you guys have called me for years.
Yes. So thanks so much for watching. If you missed our last few videos, they were Disney related. We actually went to Downtown Disney for the first time since the pandemic started.
In a year.
Because we were really waiting for the cases to be better, the amount of cases of COVID, which they are now, which is great. And just for things to settle down a bit before we went back. So we did go for my birthday.
And it was so fun, you guys.
And it was so much fun.
Oh, we had such a good time.
So go check that video out.
Yeah.
And then we did, there's a haul, and we talked about getting tickets to Disneyland and our reservation for when they open.
Oh, yeah. That was a separate video, you guys. Yeah. So 3 Disney ones recently. Yeah.
Maybe 4.
Maybe.
Not even sure.
Can't even remember.
But so I'll link those down below too. Don't forget to subscribe if you're new to our channel, and give this video a
thumbs up, you guys. And remember, don't let that stress and anxiety get you
down.
Guys.
You could get through it.
Beat it up, you guys.
Hey, that's the one thing to take away that we should all remember. You know that you will get through it and it'll pass.
Right.
So just remember that. We'll see you next time, and
We love you
That's
guys.